You're tuned into Meeting of the Minds of South Florida on K1NG Radio with Paula and Chris.
Every time they come around, something is about to go down. Meeting of the minds in FLA, yeah. Listen to what they say.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Meeting of the Minds of South Florida. I'm Paula, and as you guys may know, this is Chris.
How y'all doing? What's happening?
Before I bring on the guests, what I've noticed is that I've been really rude, and I haven't shared any of our contact information for Meeting of the Minds or for the radio station. The email address for Meeting of the Minds is meetingoftheminds with an S at the end, FLA@gmail.com. Our Facebook page is Meeting of the Minds of South Florida. The Instagram page is Meeting of the Minds, Paula, PAULLA, _ Chris, CHRIS. We also have a YouTube channel, Meeting of the Minds FLA. Please like and subscribe. The contact number for Meeting of the Minds is 305-331-9467. Again, the number is 305-331-9467. The telephone number for K1NG Radio is 754-210-3711. You can also go to K1NG Radio Facebook page. Please like and also follow them on Instagram, K1NG Radio. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the show. Really, bro?
I get a chance to speak?
Yes, you do.
Mama, I'm touching the mic. I finally made it to the big leagues. Up with George and Weezy.
Oh my God, I can't. Not tonight.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Every time we come in here, you know what's always... We have to.
I just need to get used to it.
You should. You should really get used to it.
I haven't gotten used to it after how many years? 4 years?
It's been 4, 5, 6, 7.
I can't get used to it.
This is an 8 show. You should have been used to this from the time we signed up.
No. I have to always brace myself with you.
You know what you got in that cup. That's
don't even try. Don't start. Listen. Don't start. No problem.
Let me stop.
Really?
It's not. Stop.
Listen. Don't start no rumors.
What are you doing on this? You got me.
Listen, you defeating the purpose. Let me put my cup on the ground.
I gotta stop. Okay, let me come right out the gate. And we talked about this earlier in the week. We started this show out of a passion for helping people. We both have full-time jobs that we both work. And we do this because we love Broward County, we love Dade County, but we want to make sure resources are being able to get out to the community. P came up with this idea about 2 or 3 years ago, and she has such a passion for helping people. And I know she always tries to downplay the fact she doesn't have a degree, but I'm going to tell you something. You're more educated than people that have degrees on their wall, and I don't want you to ever take that from yourself. I'm serious, because you got more common sense, and that's something you can't get from a textbook, and that's something you can't get from no degree from any of these universities. But we started this as a chance to get information out to people who need it. There's so many people that need to know about mental health. There's so many people that need to know about substance abuse. That's why we created this. The great thing about this platform is it's our platform. We're not constricted in any type of way, but we do this out of a passion love for you guys in Broward County. So basically, we do this show out of the goodness of our heart. At some point in the future, I would like this to be maybe a full-time job or part-time, But right now, this is just something we do that we love to do. The guest we have coming on tonight is a young lady I've known since 2015? 15?
Yeah, 14.
2014. I gotta say, out of all the clients I work with, and those people will be like, oh my God, he's about to go. Listen, don't take it personally. There have been clients that we work with that have done some amazing things. Like, there's some people I've watched do some amazing things. She did it. She came out, created her own business. Miss Sadiq, you want me to tell you how? And I remember when you first got there, you came in and you were one person and you left out like just amazing. your story is one that like I told for years, and people like, you know, I have some people that I work with that are just amazing individuals. And Alison Lundstrom, if I had an award, I would give it to you, but I don't, because you know we didn't have time to do all that.
So can we re-announce her name, because we know her? So just let everybody know her name.
This is Miss Alison Lundstrom. Like,
Thank you.
Do I need to say it again?
Again.
You want me to remix it? Like,
Yeah.
This is Alison Lundstrom. I'm trying to do the K1G radio thing like you did. See, my voice don't sound that good. This is K1G radio.
Don't stop.
Hold on. It's Alison Lundstrom. No, is that...
Everybody, welcome the one and only Alison Lundstrom to the Meeting of the Mind show, so she could share her beautiful story with us.
It's an amazing story.
She's a beautiful young lady. She's a wife. She's a mother. How many kids do you have? 2? Mm-hmm. A mother of 2. Her story is great. One of the reasons we really, really wanted her to be on here is she's that ray of sunshine that you give to people that fall in any part of life. It doesn't have to be in substance abuse, or, you know, it could be in any part of life. Anybody that have a downfall, this is an example that there is hope. Just believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you know what the problem is, you correct the problem, then you'll be okay. There's always room for you to level up. And this is what Alison is here to share that story with you guys, to let you know, even when you feel a little bit like, I can't do this, remember this story, and then you will know you can do it. It may take you longer. It may take you a couple of tries, but guess what? Don't give up. There's a thing that says 3 strikes, you're out. There's no such thing as that, because all of us has made more than 3 mistakes, and God never told us once we were out. So just know, 3 strikes does not mean you're out. That means you're not going to make those first 3 mistakes on your 4th try. That's all it means. So welcome, Alison.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You have anything else to say, Mr. Hickman, before I start?
I do, but I'm gonna hold my comments off, because I already know I can't. When I get home, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of people. I thought you said this about me and that. Listen, don't people again.
But but what they need to understand, you see the greatness in all of them.
Exactly, but you
But
know.
I'm his favorite.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
You're his favorite tonight.
Tonight.
That's how we gonna do it tonight.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. I had my All-American list. And she was one of the ones.
But everybody
that
does.
And that's the thing. I don't want people to, because I already know at some point, like, they're gonna be like, well, why didn't you guys call me?
Because there are some people that needs that little more cheering, the little more boost. So you can bring some people. You have to pull it out of them.
And her story is amazing. I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna be that dude at the previews that tells you what happens at the end. I'm gonna let y'all do that.
Listen, bro.
you know at the end of the story, right? No, but my final thing before I wrap it up, there are just some people in life that you can look up to that have taken stuff to the next level when they've been through adversity, and you're one of those people. And regardless of everything that you've been through, you've made it out. And there's so many people that don't make it out. And I remember even after you left, there were so many times I would say there's so many girls that you influenced that were like, I heard about this girl named Allison, and I heard about this other girl named Allison, and I'm like, she's a legend. And you have been gone like years afterwards. But the mark and legacy that you left, that you continue to carry on with you, and you're going to continue to carry through life, is one of greatness. And you've done an amazing job. And that's all I'm going to say for right now, Pete.
And I want to say this. Thank you to Allison's family.
Yes.
For supporting her, because this is hard. Thank you for lifting her up. I know her kids give her that extra boost. And thank you to her hubby,
shout out to hubby,
for believing in her, for pushing her to do better, because I know you're cheering her on. I know you are. And thank you so much for keeping her whole for us, to share her with us. And, you know, keeping her whole for her family and kids. So thank you for that.
One more thing before you start. Shout out to hubby, because I remember when they started, they were actually pushing each other together. And then y'all had a couple goals, man. And I remember I had a chance to meet him, and I met Alison. I'm like, they gonna knock some stuff out of the park.
We pulled up on our bicycle.
They pulled up on their bicycle. Straight up, you know, when people say they're gonna pull up on you, they're like, hey, man, what's up? I said, oh. They pulled up on bicycles. I was like, but that is like, but when I talk about like people that you actually genuinely care about and they love each other and they've been through everything together, that's it. They're riding bikes, going to places together, and I'm like, oh, sorry, spin on you. I ain't got COVID now. But I was like, this is love. But y'all, and they started, when the people, Drake, they started from the bottom, now we here. That's it. And I'm done for right now.
The whole team here now.
Hey.
So I just want people to know, when you are in recovery and you overcame an addiction, it is literally hard to talk about it. It is. You don't want to visit it. You want to revisit it. You want to share your story. But I'm telling you, I'm grateful because I asked her, anything uncomfortable, let me know, because I don't want to, make her feel any type of way. So thank you again. I know this is hard for you, but I'm happy you're here to share it with the world. So I want to start with one of the hardest questions. When did your addiction start?
Well, it's probably as far back as I can remember. I always, my sister was older, my cousins were older, I was the baby of the family. So I always hung out with the older crowds, and when they were in high school experimenting, I was in middle school experimenting.
Oh my God.
And, I probably just being cool, want to fit in with them and do what they do. So I was just down to try whatever, so.
So the cause of that was like peer pressure or just being around older people?
I wouldn't say they pressured me, but that was the thing to do. Everybody was doing it. Nothing traumatic happened to me or anything.
That was going to be my next question, because
a
lot of
family, middle class. My dad was a hard worker. I was spoiled. I had whatever I wanted. It was nothing terrible that happened. I just wanted to hang out and get high.
And what was your drug of choice?
I started like little pills here and there, smoking weed. And then eventually, like in my teens, it got to like rolling and cocaine. And then once I was introduced to heroin, that was it. Everything went downhill.
And what age was that?
That was during the whole, thing going on, the epidemic that happened, opioid.
Opioid
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was 2006.
I don't really have a concept of time during those years.
I want to say it was around.
No, it's fine.
Because I moved down here in 2006. I want to say it was like 2006, 2008. That's when Broward had that whole thing.
Like it was really large and it was growing rapid.
I was going to the doctors and getting the prescriptions, and then when all of that.
So what was your
shutting
excuses when you got the prescriptions? What were you telling the
Everybody
doctor?
had something, got an MRI and they found a little thing and that was it. The doctors were crooked too. They were just writing the max amount that they could, So I got the full amount that was legally allowed to give to me.
Did you ever sell any?
Oh yeah, I sold those too. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so have you ever been to jail because of your addiction?
That's the only reasons why I've been to jail.
No, but some people have
different kind of charges, but it's because of the addiction.
No, because some people they happen to kind of slip by and not go to jail because of their addiction.
Yeah. I got arrested for the first time when I was pregnant with my son. I had a warrant I didn't know about because I wasn't, paying attention. I wasn't paying the tickets and whatever. My tag was expired. And I got pulled over. And when they ran my name, he had to take me in. And I could not believe it. I've never been to jail. And here I am pregnant. And like, this man is really going to take me to jail right now. But I bailed out right away. My dad bailed me out. That was the first time I ever got in trouble. And then it continued, the addiction spiraled, and I was on the streets running, just, getting amusing, finding ways and means to get more. That was my whole life. And by then my son was born. And I think I did like 2 weeks at that time. Another time, right before I went to SBA, that was like my surrender. I turned myself in. I had a couple warrants and I had run like 3 separate occasions. I ran from the police and got away, and I was just tired of running. I didn't want my son to, grow up wondering, why I didn't love him enough to stop what I was doing, or I want to OD and have people tell him your mother died because she was a drug addict, and I didn't want to him have that missing piece.
So I want to ask you a question. During your addiction, like the really bad part, your family, you don't have to say mom, dad, but your family, did you tell any of them? Did any of them know?
Yeah, everybody knew. My family, we're very close, very close, very open. So I couldn't really get much past them anyway.
Did any of them support? Before I ask the question, let me tell the audience. I'm going to explain why I'm asking her this, and then I'm going to explain to you how it really goes. Did any of them support you? Like you went to them, oh, I need money, and they gave you money to purchase drugs, or?
In the beginning, they did.
Okay, so you don't have to say anything else. Let me explain to you as a parent and as a loved one. It's not that you're condoning or upholding the habit. You really I've never experienced, but I try to put myself in everyone's shoes to get a better understanding. Your child, no matter what your child is going through, you have a love for your child. You might not like what your child is doing at the time, but that doesn't mean that's not your child. That doesn't mean you're going to stop loving your child. So the reason I'm saying this, as parents, in the beginning, the right thing we think to do is to support whatever it is. The reason why you don't want them out there stealing, you don't want them out there doing things to get money, you can mute it. You don't want them doing things to try to make money. You try to keep them as possible as per se off the streets and getting into trouble and causing someone to hurt them. So that's the reason I asked that question, and that's why I wanted to explain it to you guys. When you're a mother, eventually you get to that tough love. But when you are a mother, you do this to keep your child as close. It's like almost watching them but not watching them, knowing they're okay but really not okay. So I just needed to explain that to you before you say, oh, the parents or the sister or the brother condoned it. No, it's actually, we think it's safer. And another thing in recovery, we can grab our kids, our loved ones, and drop them to a recovery center, but if they are not ready,
go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
if they are not ready, you're setting them up for failure.
Out the back door.
Because they will come in the front door and go out the back, or they would even tell you they go into the bathroom and use.
Slip out.
So I'm telling you, that person, and it's bad, but you can't make a person do what they're not ready to do. So I just want to make it clear, like going through an addiction and recovery is really hard. If you're there for the ride, it's tiring. I'm telling you, it's tiring. But you gotta kind of let them do a turnaround. You can spend millions of dollars, and if they are not ready, that millions of dollars just spent money. That's it. They have to really want it. So I just wanted to share that so people will understand, oh, this person gave her money. You have to understand why. You don't want them out there robbing, stealing, prostituting, any of that. You try to keep them away from that. And that's just how it goes when you love somebody. Simple. What was your turning point? You started telling us. What was your turning point?
Well, kind of like that with the family. My parents enabled me, not realizing that they were enabling me for a long time. And my dad started to do his own research and reached out to people that he knew with kids, in recovery and things like that. And so he finally cut it off and kicked me out. And he dared me to try and take my son from his house. And I didn't want any child net or anything involved, so I left peacefully, and he wouldn't let me come see him, nothing. Like, if I was using, I couldn't come around. So I ran the streets. I don't even know, it could have been a couple weeks, a couple months, I don't even know. But,
and thank you for that, Dad.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, it helped her.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, it stopped another one of our children from being in the system.
Yeah.
Because it's really frightening. You don't know where they're going to go, whose house they're going to end up, if the person is going to give them that love, or is it just something to do for that person? And you hear a lot of time kids are abused in the system, and you really don't want that. So Dad, thank you for keeping that baby safe for her.
Yes, So, I don't know, I was out there, I ended up like in the trap house. I was living there in the trap, and I just had like this realization one day that I didn't want to die like this. Like I said earlier, I didn't want my son to grow up knowing his mother was a drug addict and thinking I didn't love him enough or anything like that. So I called my dad and told him to come pick me up tomorrow morning and take me to jail. I knew I had 2 warrants, so he did. He was there at 9 a.m. and
Wait, back up. You called your dad and told him to come pick you up and take you to jail.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like my surrender, you know, I just,
Okay.
I had enough. Like you said, they have to be ready. I was ready. I've already done all the rehabs and detoxes and even went to Jackson, to the psych ward at Jackson Memorial. Like, I've burned every bridge. I've done it all, you know.
So why did you, because you know some people would say pick me up, I'm ready to do this, and try to skip the jail part.
Right.
So why did, I know why you did it, but why did you say take me to jail?
Go into detail.
I knew that I would be safe in jail.
Okay.
I knew that I could detox there, and you know, I didn't have the willpower to do it on my own. You know, I was so far gone. I needed to be locked down mentally. I thought it would help me to get through that part. But my real goal, what I was trying to do, was get to SBA, Susan B. Anthony.
So you went there to do the court order
While
thing.
I was on the street, I went to SBA, and the lady that was there in admissions was like, didn't even give me the time of day. I didn't have insurance, I didn't have money, she didn't even talk to me. So I knew that if I was court ordered, that they would have to take me, and that the court would pay for it, you know, and it was like I had my master plan, you know, but...
So I'm not defending them. Let me back up a little bit to tell you what it was. They have funding there. So it wasn't that you didn't have the money. It's like you can almost tell when a person is ready. And it being a therapist, because the people in admissions, a lot of them were therapists. Like you said, you needed to be locked down. Coming there wouldn't have done you any good.
I was still using.
Yeah, coming there. So when you come in, you can't be using, I forgot for how many days, because I used to work close with admissions. So when they would have dropped you, you would have came out dirty, and then you would have been right back. So, you know, it's not that they don't want to. They're therapists, and they can almost just look in you and say, she's not ready.
Yeah.
They can look, and that's what it is. So it's not that I'm defending them or anything, but that's what it really is.
But yeah, so I went to jail. I told my dad to go to my courtroom. I had Judge Tobin Singer, which today
she's a
I
very
say
good
is a
judge.
blessing.
She is.
She was sent from God.
We had her to speak at one of the events.
Yep.
Yeah, I love her. So, and she was trying to get me to commit to drug court for a while, and I knew all the tricks. And if I want a lawyer, I'll come back with my lawyer, and you know, to just procrastinate and drag it on. So I told my dad, you know, he dropped me off on a Sunday morning, and I said, go tomorrow to her courtroom and let her know that I turned myself in and to set me a court date. And he did, thank God, you know. So she gave me 2 weeks to dry out, and when I went to court, I asked her to court order me to SBA so I could be with my son. And it took about another 2 weeks to get me from jail to SBA. And then that's really what set it off. That's what started my whole journey. I went in there, like he said, one person, and I came out another, you know, and SBA was such a blessing, and it's so sad that it's like not there like it was, you know, for me, you know, and that's why like I'm glad to be here and do this for you guys, because you know what you guys did for me, like I could never.
And we're glad that you're here. We're glad to have you. What were some of your challenges in your recovery? Like, I'm asking people, it's not that I'm putting her on the spot, because I don't like to make her, because me and her talked about this. I'm like, just tell me what not to ask, because I want her to feel comfortable, because she has her kids and everything watching. So, you know, I need to be mindful. You know, it takes time when you have young kids to break it down piece by piece and let them know, you know, what you went through so they don't follow. You know, you got to break those chains and patterns. So what were some of your challenges?
I don't know. You know, I was thinking about that, and you know, life always throws things at you. But to me, I just think like using over it is not going to help me. I've come so far and I don't want to backtrack. So honestly, I don't really look at things as challenges like in a negative way, or like that I can't get through it because I'm in recovery, or how am I going to get through it because I'm in recovery. You know, I don't know how to really
So let me
explain
ask,
it,
so
but-
people will know, because you said because you're in recovery. When does recovery stop?
It never.
Okay, I just want people to know that.
It just, you know.
So I made this, I think, was it last week I made a statement. When you know someone is recovering or had an addiction, do not invite them around things
Yeah.
that could possibly trigger them and have them. And what I used last week, like for instance, if I'm on a diet and you ask me, do I want a piece of cake? No, I told you I was on a diet. This one piece of cake is not going to hurt. You don't know that. That little taste can just make my 20 pounds that I lost spiral. So people, be mindful when you know someone is in recovery. Recovery is lifelong. When you know someone that's in recovery, do not invite them around things that cause them to fall. Because it just takes 1 second. 1 second. Years of work takes 1 second to lose. So I just want you to be mindful and just have a little more sensitivity when we speak of addiction, because a lot of people, oh, they're this, they're that. No, they're human. They're human that fell and handled it differently. That's it.
And I think the thing too, people, you gotta understand, you want to be around people that hold you accountable, even with that piece of cake. If you're really my friend, or if you're really
You wouldn't
close
offer.
family, I'm not gonna offer it. If I know that the person's trying to get clean and I have an uncle that we have a barbecue and I know they're drinking, we're not gonna go there. And that's, I think, a lot of times people don't understand. You have a friend who's in recovery. You don't have to go to a bar to watch the game. I mean, I remember we had a friend, he was trying to get clean off certain things. We would not do certain things because we knew he was trying to get past
And you
that
wanted
point.
to keep him
And I wanted to keep
strong.
him strong. And that's when you know you got a solid team around you. And there's so many people say, oh, just take it one time. But that one piece of cake, like you said, that could blow you up and then steamroll.
That's it.
That one hit could take you and you start to steamroll.
And that's what I mean about, you know, like life is going to throw things at you.
Mhm.
So like I face many challenges on a daily basis, just going to work every day and coming home exhausted and dealing with the kids, you know, and trying to juggle everything I have going. Like some days are very stressful,
Right.
you know, and I just like don't want to do it. I just want to throw the towel in and don't want to do it. But, you know, I do. I do want my life. I do want my kids. I do want my job. So that's why I say like using or anything like it. I don't really go there anymore.
What
you know?
made you like push past that fact? Because a lot of people don't make it to that
I
point.
think, honestly, okay, let me back up a little bit. I went to SBA and I was there for 10 months. I straightened up all my licenses, you know, I got the ball rolling. Me and you made my business plan and, you know, all the stuff. You know, I had all these goals and everything when I left. When I left, I got my apartment, and not long after, I relapsed, just that one. Thinking just one is not gonna hurt. But that one, next week, I wanted another. And then I wanted another even sooner, and then even sooner. So after a few times of using again, even though it was spaced out, I knew I was in trouble because of everything I learned in the program, everything I learned at SBA, all the red flags. I was in trouble. I knew I was on a roll. So I reached out to people from SBA that I still stayed in touch with, and I was still like under supervision and ended up getting drug tested and failed that drug test, kind of like all at once, you know. Because of that, one day an officer called me from my son's daycare telling me to come and drop or they're taking him. So like when my dad took him the first time, I kind of took that for granted, you know, thinking ChildNet's not involved or anything. And now I got ChildNet. I just did 10 months at SBA and I got all this going for myself, and now I caught a case with ChildNet. So,
You know, I'm gonna go spiritual on you. You God kind of give you that little leeway the first time, and then we take it for granted, and then the second time to get out of it is a little bit harder.
but I think that that's what kind of helped, you know, your question to like get over that, get past that point. I knew I could be institutionalized. I can go to jail and wake up when they say and eat when they say and all that. SBA too. Wake up, get to group, everything when they say, and let them tell me how to live. But to live on my own is what I needed work, you know, the discipline, the self-discipline. So with all of that going on now with ChildNet, I signed up for dependency drug court. So I had drug court with Tobin Singer, and I had dependency drug court at the same time. I wanted to do anything I could possibly do to get my son back in my custody as soon as possible.
So they did take your son?
So yeah, well, I called my mom and told her, get to the daycare. Do not let them take him. And she did. She went right over there. They went and checked out her house right from there, and they let him stay there. Thank God.
Thank God for that.
But still, I always had in the back of my mind, like,
you were
one
safe.
little thing they can say is wrong at my parents' house and take him from there. You know? So I just, like, I needed him in my custody, you know? So, anyway, so I signed up for the dependency drug court. They made me do all the extra things. I had to see the counselor. I had to drop 3 days a week. Plus I had my regular drug court. And then I asked to do outpatient. And I asked to do 5 days a week, and then 4 days, and then 3 days, and step down instead of just 1 day a week.
So you didn't return back to SVA?
No, I didn't. But I did outpatient through them.
Through SVA, okay.
Yeah. So I knew that I needed to, like, kind of gradually be let go on my own. So that's why I did the outpatient, slowly drop the days of the week, you know, because I really wanted it, you know, and they used to laugh, all the counselors and stuff used to laugh, like, I'm making my own case plan and I'm calling the shots, but, like, I wanted it, and I knew, you know, that's not enough for me. I needed more, you know, so I signed up for more, and they were like, hey, if you want it, you know.
But you know, it's funny. Some people would take what they give them and then fall. But you knew you need a stronger foundation so you don't fall. And that's a good thing.
That's huge. That's huge.
Don't be afraid to ask for more. If they tell you 2 days and you're like, nah, 2 days gone, that's too much idle time for me to do stuff.
And it
Make
wasn't
me
easy
do
to do that.
Of course it
And I ended
wasn't.
up getting pregnant with my daughter during all this. And I'm thinking, how irresponsible of me, you know, that I'm trying to get one kid back and I'm pregnant with another. Like, I didn't do it on purpose, but, you know, how irresponsible does this look, you know, when I'm trying to do the right thing. And, but I needed that accountability, you know, and to just slowly be let go, you know. But I think that is what did, because in that process, I had my daughter clean. I was able to bring her home from the hospital when I went home, you know, that was the first.
Did you go home to your parents or to your own
then I was
apartment?
still in my own apartment. I still lived there today, the same apartment from SBA.
Wow.
But when with my son, I had to go straight to my parents' house. And then also during that process, me and my husband started the process of opening the salon. We opened a salon in Pembroke Heights called Beyond Brows.
Okay, so let me back up a little bit before you get to the front part.
Yeah.
Did you have, I know you said you had support from your family. How hard was it to get your family to believe in you, to know that you were really gonna do it?
It took a while to earn that trust. You know, they always believed in me. They were the ones telling me they know that I'm better than this and that I can do it and I'm stronger and all that. So they've always believed. But
okay, so family, friends, loved ones. In recovery, I mentioned before, if they had a street named Pookie, don't call them Pookie. Call them by their first name, their government given name. It helps them go through recovery. Don't call them a druggie, a addict, whatever, a crackhead. Those are really hurtful names, and it's really, really bad when you're not in recovery. Those people really feel low, and when you're in recovery, it's just about the same. It's like, wow, and it hurts.
Yeah, I always say that too. They need at least one person that they feel loves them no matter what. You know, like I knew my parents loved me no matter what, and that I always had somebody that I could go to, not for money, not, you know,
but just for that reassurance,
yes,
like I got you.
Yes.
It's okay.
You know, and I think everybody needs that. You know, any type of mental illness, if somebody just really truly loved them and gave them a hug once in a while, or told them something good once in a while.
Just think, I need a hug. Oh, well, I'm a little mental, but not that bad. I'm a little mental, but not
Little on the scale. Y'all see all the way to the left.
well, you know, all the way. No, but everybody needs, you know, that little bit of love just to know, like, wow, they really do care.
Otherwise, you feel like you have nothing. You have no reason to live. You have no reason to do good.
Right.
You know, you need somebody.
So when you relapse, how did the trust go then?
I don't know. I think they were just more disappointed, you know. But because I told on myself, I was like already on top of it, you know. I think that they were like.
But you know, the one good thing that helped you a lot is because you said you and your family were close.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
So
open and honest
so at least they
things,
know,
always,
okay,
yeah.
she got a problem.
Yeah.
So you know that's important to me, being close.
And I had my husband there with me, and he did not relapse that time. It was
So
just me.
you and your husband was married through the whole
We
process?
got married actually. Then when I got out of SBA is when we got married.
Okay.
Um,
Congratulations on your sobriety as
Yes,
well.
yes,
I have to
yes.
congratulate you because it's hard. So, you know, for two people to be in recovery together
Yes.
and to stick to it,
that
that's
is the
hard.
challenge that I face in recovery.
Yeah, that's no, it's
How
hard.
many times did y'all hear? Don't be with somebody in recovery because you never gonna make it. Let me tell you something, people. If you got somebody that you care and love about and they care and love about you, you can make it through anything. And that's one thing I can always say with you guys that I always admired, because it was like everybody else is dating people and going off on these relationships, Backpage, all sorts of craziness, you know, for these wrong reasons. But you guys had a
I
relationship.
thought they locked Backpage down.
When we were there, they didn't have Backpage was open. You know how many times I was sitting there trying to get it off the computers?
Oh, they'll be on there locked in?
Mr. Moore be like, what is on my computer? Mr. Hickman, they ain't like it. So they could be sitting there, I thought I was doing a resume. I was like, the girl's like, yeah, I'm applying for a job. I'm applying for a job, all right.
Backpage,
On
right?
Backpage. But they made it through, and what's amazing is they had such a beautiful chemistry together. Like I said, when y'all rode up on the bikes, I was like, y'all gonna make it.
We met at a meeting. That's where we met.
Wow.
It was at a meeting.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long have you been married now?
Well, we've been together 8 years.
Oh, cool.
And in May, I believe, is 6 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
6 years married and clean and
I
sober.
think it's 6.
Yeah, that's a good
There
thing.
you go, there you go.
So that's my next question. How long have you been clean?
Because I relapsed after SBA, I have in August made 5 years. In August. So
But you know
when
the
they
good
took
thing-
my son, ChildNet came. You know,
I'm sorry, that had to happen,
yeah,
but-
that's what did it.
But
Now
I'm
even
happy.
today I have that in the back of my mind. Like, I don't want anybody around me. I don't want people in my house that are doing anything wrong because if a neighbor smells something or whatever, I don't want
You're
it to bother
frightened.
them. I'm not losing my kids over this person's foolishness. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm very,
But the
like,
good
I'm a
thing,
little
you know, a
paranoid
lot of
about that.
people are not as strong as you were. She's so crazy. A lot of people are not as strong as you were to say, okay, I did this 3 times already. This is becoming a problem. You know, because some people say, well, you know, I only do it once a week. But you could do it once a week for a whole year. It's a problem.
We talked
But-
about it last week, a functioning addict.
Yes. Yes. So that's a good thing. So I know you're a business owner. What prompted you to start your own business?
I've always wanted my own salon since I was a little kid. I used to go with my mom to the salon and study how they do her nails and how they do her hair and stuff. And I always wanted a nail salon. They set me up in the garage, a little desk and everything to do nails. I was like in 5th grade putting nails acrylic on all the girls in the neighborhood.
Wow.
So it's always been my dream. And, you know, now being in recovery and things were going good and I was having my daughter and I was working at a salon with some girls that I used to work with that they opened their own doing nails. And we got to talking, like, you know, doing the math, like it makes more sense if I open the place and have other people, you know, I can make more money that way instead of giving her half my money. You know,
So I wanna stop you right there, and I wanna tell you, I saw a post, the craziest post. I literally read it 3 times and called him. The post said, "You can do a side hustle and not even quit your day job." Who wants to do a side hustle and not quit your day job? That means you're working 2 jobs.
2 jobs.
So why don't you continue to work your full-time job and build your business that you don't have to. Nobody wants 2 jobs. You want one great business to have this multi-million-dollar. And I know some people say, "Oh, she's so far-fetched." I am not going to pray and ask God to give me let me make $10,000 more than I make at my normal employer. No, I want to be a millionaire so I can live comfortable, even though it comes with problems, but I can also help others as well. So I don't know who wants to work 2 jobs. Like, I don't even want to go to the first one.
I work 2 or 3 jobs always.
Yeah, but you knew
you're trying to do that too.
You knew what you wanted to do. You knew your goal. That probably was something you know, for being busy or whatever it was. But nobody sets out to own a business to work for somebody else. Like that's not good planning.
I gotta tell a quick story. So she came to the computer lab one day at like 4:30, and she said Mr. Siddiqui told her if she can figure out a way to pull out all the old contacts, he'll print them out for her. And he sat there with her for 2 hours. She had all her contacts saved in Excel. We printed out like 25 pages.
Backed up to Gmail.
She had it backed up. She sat on there and said, "Can I use your phone?" Because she didn't have one. I said, "Sure, go for it." She called. Next thing I know, she had 10 appointments within a day. We took it to staffing. Everybody at staffing, this is the part you don't know, was like, it's not going to happen. I got on the table and I was like, listen.
I kind of remember that.
I got on the table.
That staffing was like a hot staffing.
It was crazy.
Because he came out.
Me and Siddiqui were living because we're sitting there texting each other. He's like, "You need to come down here now." So I'll go down there. People were like, "No, she needs to get a regular job." I say, if she gets a regular job, this is not gonna work.
Just so you understand, staffing, the program that Alison was at, when a client wants to do something out of the norm, you know, they have to take it in front of the staff, from the residential managers to the voc department, the therapists, and everybody. So they have to, it's like you put it on the table and see who's going to yay and nay or whatever it is they do. And because I've been in a couple of staffings that is like a chop shop in there, and I don't like them. But that's basically what staffing is. So they had to take it to, I'm going to say, the board, which was actually the employees, to see if they would approve her to do her business.
You were the first business owner. You were the first person to actually have their own business.
Inside of the program.
I'm going to tell you what's crazy. Miss Sonia backed me up. Miss Deb backed me up. Siddiqui backed. Everybody was saying, let's go for it. Some people said, well, we don't know. But I said, if we're sitting there trying to teach them sustainability and how to get off, I said, let's give it a try. I said,
and then that's what she loved. You can't make it. When a person loves something, they're going to do it.
I didn't know you were doing that. Your parents set you up in the garage. I never knew that. That's the first time I'm hearing this. But this is what I'm talking about. A passion carried her through, and she started her own business. Second Chance, actually, I think they paid for your business cards. And I remember JB came to me and said, can you put this application through for her? And I called Second Chance, and they said, no problem. Paula Vickers, I don't know if you're listening to this tonight, and her and Miss Pat approved you in less than an hour, and they took care of her business cards. But that's what I'm saying, when you have a community working together,
and that's beautiful. What we basically here for. We share stories and try to do resources.
I'd like to share something too, just a little, I feel like was like a little, like a wink from God. You know, one of my clients today is the first Black female sergeant in Pembroke Pines. She's been my client for probably almost 20 years. And she stuck with me, stuck by me, no matter what, you know. She had.
You want to share her name, or you can't?
I don't know. I guess it would be okay. Her name is Viola. I'll just say that.
Okay.
But
thank you, Viola.
Yeah, she has been heaven sent. She's never turned her back on me. And I used to think, like, she's a cop. She has to know. She has to know, you know. But she would never made me feel any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, would buy little gifts for my kids and things like that. But one day I was there at SBA and I didn't have my phone, I didn't have anything yet, and I knew my clients were probably wondering where I went. I just disappeared, you know, and they had no clue what happened to me. And so they had, all of a sudden, they called this, you know, meeting in the room, and it was Women of Hearts that came in. And
I remember, you know, I still have they gave out roses. Do you know I still have my rose today? It's dry, and you know that was years ago. I forgot what they gave me a rose for, because she said something like my spirit was so something she said to me, and she gave me a rose, and I still have that dried rose today. She gave out white roses.
Viola was on that panel, of the women that came in to speak, and she was sitting up there, and all of us came, in, everybody found a seat, sat around, and I didn't have glasses or anything, but I'm looking, I'm like, I think that's her. So at the end of the whole thing, everybody shared their story and everything, and when it was over, me and her ran to each other. And we hugged and cried and cried and cried, both of us crying, because she knew now where I was. She knew that I was safe and I was there. And I felt like that was just a little wink, from God.
That's a good thing.
Doing the right thing,
Now, okay. After your business started, we kind of do this quickly. After your business started booming, I understand you had a major health setback. Can you tell us a little about that?
I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had my business for, a couple years. Yeah. My daughter was maybe almost 2 years old. And I knew it. I found it, so I tried to hurry up. I'm like, who has time for cancer? I have a newborn baby. I have a brand new business, a brand new marriage, fresh in recovery. Who has time for cancer? But so I tried to get all my ducks in a row and everything straight before I went to the doctor, financially, got insurance and things like that. And as soon as I went to the doctor and was diagnosed, it was like a whirlwind.
They had everything fast.
Right away I got my port. I started chemo the following week. I had to do 6 months of chemo. It was 4 chemo drugs. I was pretty bad, pretty sick. Then continue one of those for another 6 months. I had a double mastectomy. They removed some lymph nodes from under my arm as well because it had spread to the lymph nodes. I was grade 3, stage 3B. And I only had, what I saw, what I found was only there for maybe 3 months tops.
Wow, just imagine.
I was keeping an eye to see if it had anything to do when I got my period, did it flare up or what? I was trying to see something to tell the doctor, and something to Google. Excuse me. So it was very aggressive, my cancer, and it spread very fast. So they had to jump on it with all the treatment. So
and I want to say again, thank you to your hubby. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm saying thank you. When a woman has a double mastectomy, for those of you that don't know, because not everybody knows, it's when you have both of your breasts removed. You go through all emotions. And then when you're with your significant other, your partner, you ask, are they going to think I'm really, that same woman because I had a double mastectomy? And then you have some men that don't understand. Oh my God, they're so shallow-minded. Oh my gosh, she had to have her boobs removed, and it just, everything just goes crazy. But thank God that God placed him in her life for him to understand what she went through and to stick it out with her, to let her know regardless, you're still a woman.
He lifted me up the entire time.
And that's what's supposed to happen.
He would take pictures of me, tell me how beautiful I am all the time. And I would are you telling the truth? Or are you just saying that to make me feel better? But it was I believed him, but I was used to think
but you're a beautiful person, though. You're a beautiful person.
Yes, he carried me through that. He held my hand every step of the way, and every time people would praise me, oh, you're so strong. How do you do it? I was because of him. He's going through cancer as well.
Let me tell you, is he's doing treatment or he's finished?
What?
No, you said.
No.
Oh, because you said. Because with you, and I'm like, oh my God.
He went through every motion.
Everything she was doing.
So I want to say, there's this saying: when life throws you lemon, make lemon juice. Well, lemon juice break me out. So when life throws me lemons, I'm throwing back. I'm sorry. You don't have to make juice with it.
I thought you were supposed to make lemonade.
I meant lemonade. What did I say?
I said lemon juice, dog.
Lemonade.
That's why
sorry.
Because they don't taste good.
No, lemonade. I'm sorry. Well, citrus break me out, so I'm not drinking the lemonade. I'm not making the lemonade with the lemons. I'm gonna throw them back because I don't have to. I love it, but it breaks me out.
Man,
I love it. I used to do the orange juice and lemonade. Remember, I used to come to Susan B. Anthony
big old
with
water.
orange juice.
Yeah, with that.
Yeah, but guess what? I used to have to go home and take medicine for the allergies and the and put stuff on me. Like, who does that?
She coming in with a whole gallon of orange juice.
And then if they had buy one get one free, I used to have both of them in the refrigerator. Like, yeah, but I used to have to go home and put on medicine on my neck and my arms. So whatever. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story, hubby. Thank you for believing in us and allowing her to share her story. I'm going to give you a little conversation Alison and I had before the show. Her son knew a little bit, but she actually had to go into more details. So if he sees this show, because he wanted to watch her, so she had to give him a little more of information to prepare him for this show. And I think that was nice of her to even, think of us to even do that, because it's hard. You don't want your kids to, you tell them, but you don't want them to overwhelm
It's always
them.
been my plan, though, is to give him bits and pieces,
Yeah, but we
what
kind
I
of
feel
forced
he's
you.
ready
We kind of
for.
forced you a little
Well,
sooner.
I know you did, but like I would tell him about SBA when we first left. We would donate his toys, and I would tell him things, when he was 3 and 4, that we lived here before, and you were one of these kids and didn't have any toys, and people would give you toys. So now that we don't live there, we have extra toys. We're going to give them back to the kids that are here. So it started with things like that. But, I keep it kind of relevant, bring it up, when we were homeless or when we lived at SBA, because I do want him to know. He needs to understand about addiction. I don't want him to find out anything about ChildNet or anything about abusing when I was pregnant, and then him, be mad or be resentful.
And then you also want to let him know so you could break the cycle,
And then, and that's why I say he must know. He needs to know how,
Yeah, like if you see them doing this, you make a U-turn.
Yeah.
You don't have to be involved in it, Just
So
make a
I've always
U-turn.
wanted to just gradually give him information. I never really mentioned drugs though. He didn't understand, or know why I went to jail, why were we homeless. I would just say I made bad choices. So I had to break it down and tell him the other night that it was drugs.
She said, I gotta talk to my son.
I gotta tell her.
I want to say thank you again. And my positive word for tonight, my recovery must come first so that everything I love in life does not have to come last. I'm going to repeat it. My recovery must come first so that everything I love in life doesn't have to come last. And the author of that is anonymous. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you for tuning in to Meeting of the Minds of South Florida. Thank you, Alison, for sharing your story. Next week, we're going to have, who are we having next week? Do you know?
I don't know who.
I really don't remember who we're having next week, believe it or not. I
thought
honestly
you were kidding. I
don't.
thought you-
No,
I
it's
thought
Miss
you-
Deb next week. No, it's Miss.
It's who?
Miss Deb is coming
What?
next week.
Oh my! Miss Deb's coming. Miss Deb's coming.
Miss Deb
Miss
is
Deb
a CC, a certified.
Miss Deb got so many certifications.
Yeah,
I mean, her resume is like.
She's a CCHW, I think, a certified
certified
health worker.
Like Miss Deb
She's a
is
therapist. She's an entrepreneur. She's a great woman.
Straight up hustler, right out of New York. Just born and raised.
Like she's just all around, and she's going to share with us next week. It's about, because this month is also breast cancer awareness month, as well as substance abuse awareness month. And what she's going to share with us is healthy stuff that we can do after addiction, because some of you may not know that we're prescribed medication. Not we are, but people are prescribed medication when they're off of their addiction. Or in recovery, shall I say. But there are some juicing, some healthy foods you can eat to kind of replace, or not replace, but build up, your strength and your brain cells to have you to think better and make better choices. So again, everybody, as always, Chris and I thank everyone that tuned in to Meetings of the Minds of South Florida. Thank you, Papa Zoe and Naya of K1NG Radio for making it happen and trusting in us. All right, everybody, good night, and we'll see you next week with Miss Dab.
And I'm going to say one thing. Make your dreams great again. All right, Chris and P signing out. Allison, thank you very much for everything. You're a true story. And I'm telling you, like, the one thing I just want to leave people with, if you believe in yourself, take a gamble on yourself, and you got people to back you, you're going to make it. And she's a living proof of that. So we got to go. I'll see y'all next week.
And just remember, her first time in recovery, she relapsed. But guess what? That didn't count her out. That did not count her out. So don't say, oh, I relapsed, they're not going to believe me, and keep going. Stop it. Jump back on track.
Get going. Get going. Y'all have a good night. Signing out, Chris and P. Meetings of Mind South Florida. Take it easy.
Thank you.